So, patch 1.3.2 has recently come out for Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord as we gear up for war sales on the 26th of November. And in that new update to the patch, they have recently changed how Cavalry works. And I kind of feel like after 5 years, Cavalry are actually somewhat decent again. I'm sure you've been in a battle where you have a huge Cavalry advantage, but they have a lot of archers, and then you get all of them archers, and then your super expensive tier 7 units just get absolutely obliterated because the archers have heat-seeking missiles that are just trained to your cavalry. And then on the other hand, the cavalry itself just can't cycle charge very well, and they miss a lot of their couch lances, and basically the archers just tear them apart. Well, apparently in patch 1.3.2 that is currently in beta, you can play with this right now if you want to check out fast mode and basically the stealth mechanics and everything else coming in war sales and the free patch alongside war sales. Cavalry is actually supposed to be decent and actually be able to take care of these, so I thought we'd test it in today's video and see if it's actually true. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with shielded infantry because again I think a lot of the cataphracts units who have the larger lance really do struggle because they can't block a lot of the incoming missiles. So I'm just going to select some tier 5 Valandian champions, a very good cavalry, a cavalry that can kind of hold its own. And then on the other hand we're also just going to select some tier 4 crossbowmen. Yeah, we'll just collect a hardened crossbowman. This will be our first test and we'll see. We'll do 300 versus 300 and then we'll kind of go from there and try and figure out if they are much better, because I've tested this before in patch 1.3.1, the patch before this, and the cavalry just got slaughtered. So I imagine for the most part, like terrain and small things are all going to make a bit of a difference, but again it's going to be very interesting to see if they can kill us in this one. Again, both sides have 300 soldiers on, and for some reason their soldiers don't number it there, but they have 300 soldiers, so you guys can see it. If we just come in right here, we take the volleys and just die so that we can speed things up and actually see how it is. So hopefully these archers can kill me, and then the AI will take command of my soldiers, and then we can see what they do. Okay, cool. So our cavalry should be getting ready to charge. We can obviously speed this up until they are a little bit closer and get ready to come in. So the enemy crossbows are now set up. As I mentioned beforehand, generally our units would get absolutely slaughtered here and they just wouldn't do much damage. You can see though, the shields are actually affecting really nicely. We haven't taken a single casualty quite yet as the crossbows continue to fire, and then the first charge. So this is going to be really indicative of what's going to happen. Is that is so many more kills on the charge than we were getting in previous patches, like so many more. Now granted, again, like this wasn't the best terrain for these crossbows, they couldn't shoot the entire time, and then you can see the cavalry actually turning around and then recharging in. The question is, how much damage are they going to do on the second charge? Are they going to do exactly the same amount? Can we see? Again, they take it. Yeah, okay, cool. They're able to absolutely dominate this. I mean, again, it's only like 70 kills, but they're not taking as many casualties. It seems like they're way more capable of simply just charging in and actually hitting their weapons and then cycle charging very effectively right there. Again, if they go back in, if we just kind of speed these things back up again, yeah, you can see every single cycle charge that they're doing is just dominating the battlefield. Granted, this was, this is how every battle should go, again, like the crossbows undefended, they should get slaughtered like this. Okay, so next up, I want to test Battanian Fains, because obviously this is the best archer in the game. This is the noble unit for Battania, and realistically, these guys should do a lot of damage. Again, at range, they should be able to slaughter, and having such a high archery skill as well should be very deadly. I'm going to spread out these guys a little bit as well, just so again they have a lot of coverage as they run through. We're going to go kill ourselves again into the enemy line, and then again see how effective the cavalry charge is. The balance of power is a bit more even now, so the game does think we are going to lose this one, but yeah, let's see right now. So again, you can see how much damage they do as well. It took them basically no time at all to come in. So we speed things up, and then on the charge they form up nicely to affect the frontage. There's a little bit of extra terrain there in their favor. They are also taking out a handful of our cavalry on the charge, and then you can see we're smashing in, doing some good damage this time. Like again, I did also give them 50 extra soldiers as well, so keep that in mind, because I wanted to see. Okay, so Battanian Fain still absolutely terrorize anything in their path, and again, this was a very good cavalry unit. So let's upgrade to Banner Knights this time and just charge in and again just die really quickly. Now keep in mind that these scenarios are just really just show like the overall aspect of it, because realistically you're not going to have 300 Thean champs, you're not going to have 300 Valandian Banner Knights. Like that's just not what your army is going to be made up of. But again, this is just to show the improvement. Now I'm interested to see like the difference in the upgraded quality of, come on, you guys can kill me, the upgraded quality of the Banner Knights having better skills, and there being 50 less Battanian Knights as well, Battanian Archers, because that 50 Archers could have made like all the difference. So again, if we just charge them in, they're going to form up, they're not taking as many casualties at all on the charge. They've taken 1, 2, and then a few more there, and then this charge through is going to do a lot of damage. Yeah, so literally, if we max out, I still think the Battanian Fains are going to end up winning this one. Yeah, they are, for sure. Yeah, they are turning the tides. But again, the Banner Knights are doing a lot of damage. So the Archers are still really, really good. But let's be honest, if you have 300 of these Battanian Fains, you probably won the game anyway. One last thing I want to quickly test out is the Kuzite Lancers as well. These guys are supposed to have got a real big improvement in the buff, just overall with their equipment and stuff in this patch. They're supposed to perform really well. So I've also come over here to the Sturgian Archers as well, which are the tier 4 Archers for Sturgia. They've also received a buff in this patch. The Sturgian Archers are actually some of the best in the game now. They're really well equipped and they have very good stats. So they're obviously not going to be like the noble unit of the, they're not going to be like the noble unit of Battania, but they're still going to be doing pretty good. So yeah, this will be our last pure archer on archer test, and then one thing I want to do is I want to then give them infantry and see how that they fare with that. So again, the charge coming in, again, able to do a lot of damage on that charge. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things as well with Battanian Fains is their armor is a lot better, so they don't lose as many on the charge. They basically killed 20 and lost 5. Again, 25. It seems like that's kind of like what's happening every single pass through. And again, this is also like quite a big thing as well, because like this didn't happen in the previous patches as well. So again, pretty good so far with the casualties. And then yeah, the Kuzite Lancers slaughtered that against them. So the one thing I really want to test though is giving them infantry now. I want to have some infantry, and I want to give the AI some infantry as well. So we'll have infantry cavalry and we'll give them infantry archers. Okay, so this is going to be pretty interesting, honestly. So we're going to throw forward our infantry because I'm really curious to see what happens when you have like the infantry obviously taking a lot of the arrow fire, and then the cavalry like charging in from the sides as well. And then what happens if they have infantry? So we're going to test it with a small amount of soldiers to begin with, and then we're going to test it with a much larger infantry, and or we'll go up to 500 soldiers and we'll truly test it. So yeah, I want to throw the cavalry around. Their archers should be setting up there to fire, and then I want to kind of almost simulate us using our cavalry in the flank and then charging them. So again, their archers should all be set up now. Their archers are firing, javelins are going, and then yeah, let's charge in our cavalry. And then I'm interested to see how this actually affects the enemy. It seems like they formed a really weird formation. But yeah, are they going to be able to cycle through? And if they are able to cycle through, does that still do damage? Because yeah, you can see that initial charge is not breaking through as much, even though we are able to do a lot of damage. And then are they going to be able to cycle back out efficiently and then charge back in? So again, we'll let them zoom back out. They're going to set themselves back up for another charge. Here again, we've taken way more casualties this time as we come flying in. It seems like, and they're kind of like pulling out of this as well. It does seem like the AI is way better at like actually utilizing, and as they charge in, they seem way better at actually like hitting the enemy. But yeah, I think when they get slowed up, the archers will just decimate them. So we can speed things back up again. And yeah, the charges when there's enemy infantry just don't seem effective at all. Like at all. I mean, they're doing damage, but yeah, nowhere near as much. And obviously, as they start to take casualties, the archers just continue to fire. And these are tier 4 Sturgian archers. They're not tier 5, but they're still pretty good. Okay, let's do one more test with this because I am really interested. So I've got myself an actual front line right here. We will split our cavalry up into 2 blocks of cavalry as well. So we'll stick one up on this left-hand side, one up on this right-hand side, and then we're gonna basically just push forward. So like so far, again, this could really change my hypothesis, but yeah, so far, I feel like cavalry is much better than it was, but will still really struggle against mass archers, which I feel like is when they should dominate the battlefield. And I think when there's a lot of infantry and stuff, you're going to really struggle. But if you can kind of dispatch the infantry from the archers, I think you're going to really do a lot of damage to them. And if cavalry can get clean strikes on the archers, they're going to do a lot of damage. So like this one, we're going to sit about here. I'm going to basically just absorb the missile fire and try and get their infantry away from their main front line. Okay, so the AI has formed up their formation. They kind of gone for a really like good formation, archers in the front. So what I'm going to do is going to push forward my infantry now to try and basically bait their archers back. We'll start pushing the cavalry around into a good position so they can charge forward. The infantry's moving up and obviously absorbing a lot of the enemy missile fire, which again is going to really help us out. Yeah, so again, keep on pushing up, boys. I want you guys like in the faces. A few javelins go out as well, but I don't really want them to be doing that. I want to basically just scare the archers back so they're not doing anything. So yeah, infantry, keep on pushing up, please. Let's just get you guys like right up here. Yeah, because they've currently got their infantry like embedded in here. And I basically want to fool them back. So let's keep on pushing. We're going to charge our way in, and they're just actually pulling back. So this is actually quite annoying for my my test. So let's just tell our archers, both of them, to charge after that. And I'm going to hope that we can basically encourage their infantry forward, which is exactly what we have done. The AI is playing a very like bulky formation right here. Maybe it's like to obviously counter our cavalry. So let's see how the cavalry do now as they come flying in on both sides. The infantry can kind of pull back a little bit. Obviously, I still want to keep their line engaged as much as I can. But yeah, they're just not able to like break through. Granted, I think in most battles, the AI do spread out their archers quite effectively. And again, the cavalry's getting caught up on our infantry as well, which is kind of annoying. The AI is now forming up, which is good. So hopefully they can kill me so we can just see the battle unfold. So yeah, this is the kind of thing I wanted to see. Because this is generally what the AI will do, especially if you have archers as well. So as their archers are moving around, they're not set up and shooting us right now. But yeah, the infantry are fighting, which is fine. And our cavalry, yeah, this is now what I want to see, is like how well their archers do against this and how well our cavalry can kind of pull back and forth. So let's make our way in so we can just die really quickly. And then let's see how it unfolds, because our cavalry are hitting them hard from that flank. And we also have cavalry coming in here. But it's just not enough, really, is it? Like, all their infantry is alive, so they've managed to kill our infantry, but we are also killing their archers. I mean, it's going to be close, right? It's going to be close, which it kind of shouldn't be, right? Like, we do end up, well, I guess I say it should be close. We actually ended up really cleaning that one up very nicely. Yeah, so I feel like cavalry do work a lot better. I think that's enough to see, like the tests we've made. Against pure archers, they are much better. When there's infantry there and the archers are much more bulky, they definitely do struggle. High-end archers are always going to dominate the battlefield. But again, we were fighting what, tier 4s with Khan Lancers and rubbish infantry. So yeah, I think they have, for the most part, fixed cavalry and made it pretty deadly, especially like the Battanian cavalry. I think will do a lot of extra damage because they have them big shields to protect them from missiles. I think the Empire cavalry, because I don't think they get they get shields with their lances. They normally put the shields on the back and then just move that big old cataphract lance. I think they'll still really struggle. That armor isn't enough. The archers still just do enough damage. But yeah, I would say overall, cavalry have seen a huge improvement in the battlefield, and I'm probably way more likely to get them for these cavalry flanks. I think as well, a lot of the time, the AI does quite simply like push their infantry forward and leave their archers at max range to shoot. So if you can win the cavalry fight, your cavalry should, in theory, dominate them archers. But again, being outnumbered, I think will make them really struggle as well. But yeah, I mean, I think they've done a great job with 1.3.2. I'm excited to see how that they perform in War Sales when it does come out, and obviously alongside the free patch. All of this stuff is in the free patch, so you don't need War Sales to get any of this stuff for fast mode or any of patch 1.3, like with the stealth and other things along those lines. But yeah, overall, I mean, I'm impressed. I'm excited. It seems like we are now finally starting to go in the right direction, which is always pretty good. So if you guys are enjoying this, you want to see more 1.3.2 content, let me know by dropping a like and a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.